Hey everyone, okay, so we've got a tutorial today, and the tutorial is with the gorgeous Alexandra, and I know Alexandra very well. She is lovely, and if you knew her, there is something about her. She's so kind-natured, so kind and considerate and lovely, and it's an absolute joy to do a tutorial with her. I'd like to do some more with her. She also has a beautiful sister called Sophia, who I'm hoping to get in the chair, and we can do something with her as well. But this tutorial was based upon the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Tak look, and I'm so pleased to have done it with her. I really wish you could know her the way that I do, because she is such a beautiful person inside and out. And actually today is her birthday. The day that this goes live is her birthday. So I wish her happy birthday, and please be kind and respectful on the comments. It takes a lot for somebody to sit in a chair and expose themselves to the world, and we all know what the internet's like, so please be kind and respectful in the comments. It doesn't hurt to be nice, you know, and it's very much appreciated. So please leave some nice comments. Okay, let's go on with the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just prime the skin, and I'm going to be using Magic Cream for this and applying this all over the face. Now it's worth pointing out here that there is a slight line of demarcation on her neck. It's almost certainly just from a shadow, but I just wanted to point it out because of course somebody else will, because it's the internet. So just making it kind of clear right from the start. So applying this to the skin and just priming it. So next we're going to be applying foundation, and I'm using a wax-based foundation, and I'm just going to tap this onto the skin. I don't want to cover anything in this tutorial because she has such beautiful skin. It would seem a shame to put a heavy base on, so I'm applying a light coverage all over the face. I'll be applying concealer, and I'll be applying this underneath the eye and also over the entire eyelid as well, to take away any discoloration that happens on the eyelids, and use that as a primer as well. So just blending this now lightly with a sponge, and you can use any sponge you want. Triangular one is perfectly fine, or a beauty blender, whatever works for you. So as I mentioned, I'm now going to cover the eyelid, and this is just going to take care of the discoloration and act as a primer for any of the eyeshadow. Now I'm going to be doing things in a different order to normal, so you'll see as we go along. Next, I'm powdering the skin. I'm going to speak about this technique in a different video using a pressed powder, and you'll notice as well how the skin takes on this airbrushed look, and this is what I'm going to be discussing in a upcoming tutorial, I mean. So just pressing and patting into the skin. And I'm sorry for any autofocus issues. The camera likes to focus on my hand and not the model. Nothing really needs to be done with the brows, as you can see. That was it. It was like pointless. So applying eyeshadow, I'm applying the lightest shade from the palette and applying this to the eyelid and the brow bone. Then I'm going to apply the faintest amount of mascara, really light coating, one coat, and then we're going to move on. So the reason we're going to be doing things in a different manner is that sometimes when you just do eyes first and there's nothing else on the face, it can look quite stark and it can make people feel uncomfortable. So by doing a small amount of mascara and eyes first, then we're going to move on to lips, so that we're getting a more completed look very, very early on. And it's just more, it's easier for somebody to sit in a chair because eyes are almost, you know, the eyes are sort of done. Now we're going to do the lips. So what I'm doing here is applying lipstick to the bottom lip. I'm then going to ask her to rub her lips together, and this is going to give me an outline. And this outline is for my benefit because it makes it easier for me to line the lips because the shape has already formed. So now I get to go in with a pencil, and because of the way that the lipstick is now, you know, gone all over the entirety of the lip, it's so easy to follow the rest of the lip line because it's easier to trace than it is to draw. So this is all I'm doing here, is tracing over what the lipstick has already done. Next, I'm just going to blot the lips, and that's this part taken care of. Now we're going to move on. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply a small amount of blusher because I can always go back in later on. I'm applying this to the cheeks, as you can see, with the limited edition brush that I brought out a couple of years ago. So just applying this in a really kind of a more of an innocent manner, sort of really high up but quite close into the face. So now we're going to move on to eyes, and I'm applying the middle shade from the palette and applying this to the crease of the eye and then blending as we go. Nothing really complicated here, just a basic crease application, starting from the outside and working your way in a kind of windscreen wiper motion, and then just blending as we go. Now, even though the application is basic, it does bear in mind that you are going in a kind of half moon shape, just following the natural crease of the eye and bringing it right the way into the inner corner. And then you just take a larger brush and you just blend as you go. It's really quite simple, and you can always clean up the edges if you need to. So next we're going to join the lower lash line up to the top lash line. This completes the connection and gives an overall more of a completed look by connecting the outside corner to the lower lash line. So next we're going to apply our second coat of mascara. Because enough time has lapsed from the first application to this application, we're able to build up drama without there being any clumping because the mascara has dried. It's wonderful. So there we go, we're just applying the mascara and then we'll move on to the next step. So I'm just going to soften the edges with a triangular sponge and a tiny bit of foundation. You know me, I like to do this. So next, a little bit of overall blending and applying the deeper shade from the palette to the outside corner of the eye. It's a strange palette, Pillow Tak, because unless you're very fair, the colors are quite light and they don't really show up. And they also have quite a pink sort of base to them. So, you know, they do generally tend to suit cooler skin tones in general. But it's still a beautiful palette, but it's limited to the kind of your skin tone, really. So I'm going to apply a small amount of the first shade, which is the highlight shade, and just applying this back to the eye because I want the eyes to be a little bit more open. So I'm applying that light shade to bring light back to the inner and center part of the eye. So I'm now going to take the celestial shade and apply this with my finger to the center part of the eye and work my way in. And this is just to add that extra kind of pop of sparkle. So I'm just applying this all over that lower eyelid. So next I'm going to apply a second coat of the Pillow Tak lipstick and applying this to the bottom lip again. Second coat, third coat of mascara, this time to the lower lashes just to kind of complete that eye look. Next I'm going to move on and just do a tiny bit more powdering around the outside area underneath the jaw, underneath the cheekbone and a bit on the forehead. Then we're going to set the face just to bring back a bit of moisture to the skin. So I'm spritzing the face and that will complete the look. So there you go, that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you like it. Please leave lovely comments because it's kind. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.